Hello. Welcome to the video. If you're here live, hi. If you're watching this later, welcome to the aftermath. I don't know. This is just going to be a hangout. It's Friday night as of recording this, or as of live streaming this. And I just wanted to hang out, catch up. I want to do more live streams and just chill with everybody. Thought it'd be fun. I kind of miss live streaming. I used to be live on Twitch all the time. Only announcement type things, or if you want to check the new stuff, check the description down below. There's pinned comments for those who are here live. And the Summer of Unreal classes that I'm doing in July, you can jump in on all affordably priced modules so you can choose which ones you want. And then I'm considering doing some summer animation classes. And you can fill out the form if you're interested in that as well. But that's it. There's no specific plan for tonight other than just to hang out with everybody here and have a nice time. And people have just arrived. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is the new thing I'm going to try and do from now on, is just go live every now and then. I'd like to pick a time, like a day and a time, to just consistently go live every so often, but I'm not ready to make that commitment yet. Because I thought I'd do this stream at like 10 a.m. today. It's now 10 p.m., so it took me 12 extra hours to not be busy enough that I couldn't do this yet. So, anyway. While we're waiting for people to join the stream, can't tell how many people are here yet, but my analytics aren't, either no one's here or it's just not loading anything yet. I'm not sure. But I figured that I would just kind of show a couple of fun things. I actually have some cool stuff to show today, if people are interested. I've been doing a lot of speaking lately. I've spoken at, just this month I spoke at Unreal Fest Orlando, and I spoke at Build Expo here in New York. For Build, I talked about visual effects, which was fun because I never get to talk about visual effects, so that was great. And then at Unreal Fest, I talked about creating cinematics in Unreal Engine as a solo creator, which that talk, I just reviewed the recording actually, and that'll be coming out soon. So I was going to show some behind the scenes of the different presentations that I've been giving, because if you missed them, the Unreal one was recorded, so that one's going to end up on YouTube, but the visual effects one, I don't think it was recorded, so I thought I'd show behind the scenes if anyone's interested. I've also got some student work from the students I recently taught in a class. They did their final projects. I'm very proud of them. I thought I'd show off their work. Yeah. Other than that, just here to chill. I will I'll point this out. Oh, here we go. Now my chat seems to be working. Oh my gosh, my window's actually freaking out. Oh, okay. I'm glad I do a 2 PC stream setup, because PC1 just did something weird. There we go. Oh, now I can see your messages. Hi. Like 5 or 6 people said hi, and I just missed it. Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Today, whatever time zone you're in. I would assume it's probably night for most of us. How's the music volume? Is the music volume okay? Too loud, too quiet? Hopefully it's okay. Daytime here? Oh. Where is here? Yeah, where's everybody at tonight? I love how for years you are in every live stream, you are the selfie guy. And I always remember, it's just so funny that after all these years, you're still like, I'm the selfie guy. I hope you remember me. Of course I do. I'm never going to forget. I love that that's like the title though that you have. I just want to let you know that I won the Best Animation Year 1 Film Award 2025 from my London University. Hey, congratulations. That's huge. Best Animation Year 1. That's so cool. Congratulations. That's really awesome. Thanks for inspiring me to stay in this field. Happy to be a part of your journey. But you did the work. Great work. That's so cool. Is what you made available to watch? I don't think I can watch it on this stream because I worry about copyright things, but you should share the link. If there is a link, if you want to. Can I zoom in on this to make the chat bigger? Yes, I can. Goodie. There we go. Yes, where's everybody at? India, Vegas. Nice. I have a question. Hold on. I have one question about if we add faced animation mocap in the Unreal, can you polish it further, like cleanup or something? Oh yeah, 100%. I have a video that should be coming out this week. Or what is today? Today's Friday? It'll be coming out next week. It could come out as soon as Monday. More like, well, yeah, it could come out either Monday or Tuesday, soonest. But I have a video that I made. It's almost done. Or what? There's a video coming out very soon, probably next week, where I show my facial animation workflow in Unreal Engine that involves motion capture, kind of, but it shows some of my cleanup process. But yes, of course, you can absolutely do that, and you should do that. If you have facial animation motion capture, you should definitely clean it up, because it never looks good by itself. Like 98% of the time, it doesn't look good by itself. And the other 2%, it's when you did other extra work to make sure it was going to look good. So you did like pre-work. So you didn't have to do as much post-work. So yes. There's many studios using Unreal right now. It's insane. I know. It's only going to get bigger. It's going to get just more and more and more. Which seems like a good moment to remind everybody, just in case you didn't know. Woo! Summer of Unreal! If you want to learn Unreal Engine, wait, this way. Which way? This way. This way. These are my classes. I'm doing some classes in... Oh, there's the facial motion capture. You can see it. Actually, it's not motion capture, but that's the video. These are classes I'm doing in July. So if you want to learn Unreal Engine, I am doing these kind of modular classes so you can choose what you want. If you want to learn how to do animation in Unreal, there's a class for that. 2-week crash course. Gives you all the tools you need to get started. And if you want to make projects and storytell and actually have cinematics in Unreal, there's a 2 weeks class right after the first one. And so altogether, it's 4 weeks if you want to take both. There's a discount if you want to take both. But it's designed to give you all the tools you need to use Unreal Engine as an animator. The first class is kind of designed for animators. And the second class is kind of for anybody. And it goes through the motion capture workflow, goes through MetaHuman Animator, goes through custom characters, all kinds of cool stuff. So, all the good stuff that's linked in the thing. So, if you're interested in Unreal, I got you. And then actually, there's another link that's pinned, just in case anyone is curious about it. I'll show it to you. There's one more link. I was considering doing some animation classes this summer. I haven't announced them because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do them, because I don't know how many people. Like, I'm already doing the 2 Unreal classes, these ones, but I'm considering also doing 2 animation classes, like not Unreal, but just like animation, which is probably more in Maya. And if we do those other classes, it's like the Unreal ones would happen in the morning, and the animation one would happen in the evening. And if you're interested in them, you can come in here and you can just be like, yes, I would like those. You should do them. Or just kind of vote for like, meh. If you want to vote, you can. But basically, you can come in and you can read up. And I'm considering doing a technical animation skills class. We did this 2 years ago, and it went really, really well. It's constraints, it's graph editor, it's animation layers, it's how to do cycles, it's a bunch of just really handy, more technical things, just how to deal with those processes. FK, IK, just a lot of the technical stuff. Getting all the software stuff to just be not a problem. There's also some Animbot stuff, but Animbot's... Anyway, So there's that. And then I've got an advanced body mechanics class, which people have been asking for a very long time. And I'm considering doing it over the summer. But it'd be a short version. It'd be like a 2-week body mechanics course. Most likely. Could be 2, could be 4. Not sure. And then finally, a facial animation, lip sync, and dialogue animation class. So, those are the 3 animation classes I'm considering. If you want to weigh in and cast a vote and say, like, I want that, or whatever, hit the link and fill out the form. And you can come in and you can say which ones you want to take. If there's enough people who are like for sure wanting to take it or like probably going to take it, then I might make it official and we might offer it. But if it's like 3 people, then maybe we'll save it for when more people are want to take it, because it takes a lot of work. And so if you're interested, there's that. And then if you're also like, I want to take all the classes, like I want to do these and Unreal, then you can like just mark this. And if I do open these up, then I can do some kind of like discount, like double discount. Like if you're like, I'm going to take all 4 classes or something crazy, then like you should get a discount on my classes because MVP. Anyway, if you're interested, and the pricing is here too. So if you're like, I don't know if I would commit to it, I don't know how much it would cost, I wrote it all down, so you can check it out. Yeah, so that's the form of that, and then there's the one for this. This is all the whole page. This you can sign up for now. This one is if there's enough interest, then maybe I'll open this up too. Anyway, there's that. But we're not here to necessarily talk about classes. It's going to be a part of, I'm sure I'll talk about it more when people ask questions, that it makes sense to bring it up, but we're here to chat, we're here to hang out, we're here to answer questions and just have a good time. And I've got stuff to show later, but no rush. Here we wait and see if you guys have questions. Let me see what I missed in chat. As Silver Sun. Could you create some tutorials on anime style 3D character animation? On anime style 3D character animation. That's a fun idea. I don't have anything in mind. Like reading that, I can kind of visualize what that kind of a tutorial would be like, but I don't have anything specific really to say on the topic. I guess there's like, it's sort of just like it'd be like posing, timing, and like stylization. I guess that would be how I'd break it down. That'd be an interesting tutorial. I'll write it down. It's a good idea. I'm definitely not prepared to make that tutorial right now because I don't feel like I have all that much to say on it. Like I don't do that style of animation all that often. Actually, I don't even know. I can't think of anything I've animated in the last couple of years that would have fallen into that category, but it's a good idea. So I'm going to write it down and maybe I'll explore it. Anime style 3D character animation tutorial. Yeah. I'll think on it. Thank you for the suggestion. I would sign up, fill out the form. Is Summer of Unreal going to be a yearly thing? No, I don't think so. I very much doubt it. Summer of Unreal is very much I'm doing it this year because I thought of it this year and I thought it'd be really fun and I thought it'd be a good time to do it just because I just spoke at Unreal Fest. I'm really involved with Epic Games and with the animation training, and like I'm like neck deep in Unreal Engine right now. And I thought now's a really good time for me to share as much knowledge as I can and to try to get as many people comfortable using Unreal as possible because it's so in demand right now. And I know I can help. I don't know what it's going to be like in a year. I mean, I'd imagine it's still going to be super in demand, I would think, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing next summer. Everything I do changes so much from year to year. I don't know what my schedule will be like, or I don't know if, I don't know. So I'm not planning on doing it again next year. It's kind of like how 2 years ago I did the like summer of affordable animation classes. And that's just because I wanted to try teaching. I had taught the Maya workshop, and I had taught like a resume and cover letter workshop, job application stuff. And I think I had taught something else, a class, some kind of workshop I was doing. But I hadn't taught any like animation classes at that point. And I really wanted to try it. And so I thought, this 2 years ago, right? Whatever, I think 2-3 years ago. I wanted to try it out. And so I decided that summer is like both a really busy time for me and a slightly more flexible time for me. Usually I get like 4 weeks where, like July, usually in July I can kind of do whatever I want to do a bit easier than other months because there's a lot of like projects I'm doing. And so for that year, I thought I would do affordable classes because I wanted to basically try my hand at teaching a proper animation class. I just wanted to give it a shot. And I also wanted to make sure that I could offer those classes as affordably as possible while still being able to pay my own bills because expenses and the time it takes, it's a lot of work. And so anyway, so I had did that. And that was my sort of my summer project that I decided to put on was the affordable animation classes of that year. And then I ended up with a little bit of extra time in like the following January that I followed up with a few more classes in the series. That's when I had done like, that summer was like animation basics and fundamentals and the technical animation class. I think I did both of those. And then in the January, I did intro to body mechanics, like my own custom version of that class. And then I didn't end up, and I wanted to continue with more classes, but I never had more time. I just never had another opportunity to teach another class like that. And so anyway, it's literally been like a year and a half. And then this summer I had the opportunity, I had the time. I was like, all right, this July I have time. What should I make? And I decided that Unreal Engine was the thing that like most people need right now. And I think it could help people get jobs and just expand skill sets. And it's just super popular and in demand. And I thought, now's a really good time. I can help as many people as possible to get comfortable with Unreal. So I did Summer of Unreal as my choice for what to do this summer. I didn't have the time last summer to pick anything, and so I didn't. Or that's not true. I did an Unreal animation course, but it was a very like large professional scale Unreal training. Oh, hi from New Zealand. Hello. What time is it in New Zealand right now? Out of curiosity. But that was, so yeah, last year I did a big Unreal Engine class for professionals. It was to help a lot of the artists who were getting laid off from major studios. And then I did another one of those earlier this year. And yeah, this summer I was gonna do another one. I was going to do one more like animating in Unreal Engine 5.6. And I even sent out, like some of you might be on my email list, which I don't send out a lot of emails, but I sent out one big email that was like, animation in Unreal Engine 5.6, because 5.6 is the biggest animation release we've ever had in Unreal Engine. It's huge. It's awesome. There's so much good stuff. And so I put out one big email saying we're going to do that. But then, I don't know. I thought about it, talked to some people, got a little bit of feedback, and I ultimately decided to discontinue that class. And, like, not cancel it, but I changed it. I removed that big class, unscheduled it. I went back and I changed it, and now I'm doing the Summer of Unreal instead, which is character animation in Unreal Engine 5.6 and creating shorts and cinematics in Unreal Engine. And so I basically took that really big class and I took some parts of it and I added some other stuff, and I did two sort of more crash course, smaller, more modular classes that I could make more affordable, because my big one cost more, and I wanted to do something for the current economy situation that was a little bit easier for people to be able to actually take right now. So anyway, that's how this came to be. That's how, which way do I point? Is it this way? Yes. That's how this came to be. So this is my sort of attempt at making more affordable Unreal Engine professional trainings based on what I'm doing to teach the studios these kinds of tools, because I've been doing some training on the studio side. So that's that. And so for that reason, that's kind of the whole backstory now to say, like, will this be a yearly thing? Probably not. I don't plan on doing it next year because I don't know what I'll be doing next year. And I'll likely want to teach something else. There's plenty of classes that I want to teach and I want to bring out for you guys. And I don't want to do the same thing every single time. So yeah, that's the story. That's the backstory to that. So that's how Summer of Unreal came to be. And it's probably going to be a one-time thing. If anything, I might like pre-record an Unreal Engine course that people can like pick up later in the year, but I don't have anything specific for that yet. I have a lot of other projects right now that I don't think I can talk about like super in detail. I can probably say a little bit, but nothing too specific. I have some other Unreal Engine projects that I'm going to be working on throughout the year. After I do those other projects, then I might make another course, but that would be more of a recorded course because it's a lot of work to do the live classes and I really like them and I want to make sure each one is really, really good. Anyways, that's the whole long story. Hopefully that was somewhat interesting. Do I have any recommendations how to get freelancing jobs as a 3D modeler? As a 3D modeler, I don't have a lot of advice because it's not my thing. I will say, when I look for 3D modelers, I have hired a couple of 3D modelers for different projects when I've produced or directed different projects. And I typically look on ArtStation and Instagram. And if I like know people, I'll of course look at their work or ask people like, hey, do you know someone who's available? But usually I'll look at ArtStation and Instagram for modelers. So my advice would be to make the stuff you want to get hired to do and make sure you put it on social media. And if you can, the other thing I would recommend is if you can find other artists who are like making projects, like making short films or tutorials or whatever. There's a little gnat on my camera. I'm gonna try and get it. If you see me clapping out of nowhere, it's because I'm trying to get this little fruit fly. I'd recommend if you can find other artists who are making stuff, I would say to offer them your models and say, hey, like, if you need any models, I can make stuff for you. That way, if their project ends up getting a lot of eyes on it, you can be credited as a modeler for the project. Maybe that'll help get you some work. Something like that. Typically just being helpful to the artist community. Are indie studios on the rise? What have you been seeing around the state of the industry? So that's an interesting question. Are they on the rise? That's a hard one to answer, but I'm gonna try. But let me also answer this quick one from Robert. Are you gonna be at SIGGRAPH this year? I am planning on going to SIGGRAPH. I haven't booked my ticket yet, which actually I should probably do. I'm planning on going to SIGGRAPH, but I don't have any concrete plans yet. But yes, in my head, I'm like, yes, I'm going to SIGGRAPH this year. Are you going? Am I going to see you there? I love SIGGRAPH. I like SIGGRAPH a lot. It's one of my favorite conferences. Are indie studios on the rise? Indie studios are very popular right now. They're having more success than usual, which is wonderful. But are they on the rise? I feel like there's always indie studios popping up and going down. And I don't know. I think people want to see more independent animation, and I think more artists want to go independent or work at more independent studios because of all the stuff we're seeing in the animation industry right now. So in a way, yes, indie studios are on the rise because there's more of a demand for it, but funding those projects is very difficult right now for a number of reasons. But there's actually a great video. Let me see if I can find it. What was it called? There's a great video I just watched a couple of weeks ago. Oh, let me see if I can find it. Be in my YouTube history, right? Can I search it? Yes, I can. Animation. Is it this one? Yes, this is. No, wait. This one, found it. We won't watch this on stream because I'll show you. I'll show you the video, but we won't watch it on stream because that wouldn't be fair to the creator of the video. Because then all of us watching would only count as one view, and that'd be a bummer for them. Here we go. This is the video. The Secret of Funding Indie Animation Feet Lackadaisy by Jellybox. Can I share, copy? I'm gonna put this in chat so you can find it easily, but make me a deal. Don't click it just yet. Don't leave me. Don't go. Copy it for later. Put it in your watch later. Check it out after the stream. It's a really, really good video where they discuss the funding mechanics of animation, of how the business makes money, how the studios make money, how indie studios have to make money. It's really interesting. If you've never thought about it or had any insight into it, it's a really actually good video on how that works. And you'll see through this sort of what needs to happen, how much money it actually takes to fund these projects, and how hard it actually is. There's another video up at the top, which I want to call out. This is another one. We're actually, I will play for you the first 30 seconds of this, and then I'm going to have to say, go watch this afterwards. This is a 30-minute video. Again, don't leave me. But Steamroller Animation just put out Spice Frontier, the pilot episode, which we will watch the first tiny bit. This is the first tiny bit of it, because I want you to get hooked on it and go check it out. And then you'll have to go watch it on your own. Let me find where's my music coming from? Here it is. Let me make sure audio is working here. You should be able to hear this. Let me just double check something here. If I hit this button, it's a little quiet. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. All right. So Steamroller Animation created a pilot episode, a first episode of a new series called Spice Frontier. They put a ton of work into it. It was made mostly in Unreal Engine, not fully, but there's some really cool pipeline magic they've done in here. Let's just check out the beginning here. Let me split myself away so you can see the whole thing. And I'm going to talk over it a little bit because I don't want YouTube to hit me for copyright and act like I'm just doing a watch or something. But it's got kind of like an 80s retro 2D style aesthetic to it. All the effects are hand animated in 2D. The textures are very kind of painterly and artistic, but it's all 3D. And I'm realizing maybe I should have just played the trailer instead of starting off the series.
Stay calm, everyone.
I'm calm. I'm calm.
Hey, Maud. Are you gonna be okay?
Sheila, are you sure you got this?
Yes.
We'll just watch this first bit.
For the ship.
Oh, she'll be fine. I built her sturdy.
Brace yourselves.
And that's where we'll pause. That tells you nothing about the episode or anything, but look how good it looks. Anyway, this is Steamroller. Steamroller Animation made this 30-minute pilot, and it's so good. You've got to watch it. So definitely check out Spice Frontier on YouTube after the stream. Let me go back to chat. Anyway, what was the question? We're talking about indie animation. Yeah, if indie animation keeps looking like this, we're gonna be just fine. We just gotta get some money to these studios. We want artists to get paid for independent stories. Gotta love it. Hello, hello. Once again. Can you do a video showing your setup one day? I should. I have not done one in years. I filmed an entire YouTube, like I filmed a whole setup for my, okay, hold on. Like what, 6 years ago now at this point? 5 years ago, 6 years ago? I filmed a whole office tour. I made that video. And then I moved once and I didn't do an office tour in that location. And then I moved back to LA. I was in LA first, and then we went to Austin during COVID. Then I came back to LA, and I rented an office space. I rented an office in Glendale, which is near where DreamWorks is. And I had my own office space for about 2 years. And I loved it. Nice. It was a lot of the videos you've probably seen the last couple of years from me were from there. And I filmed an entire office tour, and I never actually made the video. I have all the footage. I just never made it. Yes, I'm behind on chat. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I made that whole, I made it, didn't post it. And then I moved to New York, which I'm in New York now. And I'm in a different space, which actually I haven't even finished decorating. I've been here almost, it's been a year and a half, and it still looks like this behind me. This is all the decoration I've done here. It's rough. But I haven't done a tour of this space either. So I need to do an LA office tour and a New York office tour, because I haven't done that. But I will. I'll get to it. Hopefully soon. Anyway. Let me keep going. I go in order. I'm going in order. Where am I? I'm not too far back yet. But the night's still young. Do you think you'll ever go back to the sit-down type videos talking about stuff from your previous experiences? You know, like the original ones, like where I sat on the couch and I just kind of like shared stories? Geez, that'd be so nice. That'd be so easy. All the videos I work on now are so hard. They take so much time, so much B-roll, months of effort. I'd love to do some easy videos where I just sit and chat and talk about experiences. I've got some stories. From the last couple of years, some of the stuff I've done, yeah, I'd love to. I just kind of, I guess, I don't know why. I just kind of assumed that if I made a video like that it'd be like too boring, that you wouldn't want to watch it, or that people don't care enough to just sit and listen to me talk. And maybe that's not true, but that's just, you know, the little voice in your head that goes, no one cares. Show them cool things. They only want to watch videos where you give them stuff and you give them tips and tutorials and whatever. No one wants to hear your stories, which maybe isn't true. Maybe that is what you want. That's not what my inner monologue or inner dialogue often assumes, right? So if that's something that people would watch though, I guess that'd be nice. I'd love to. It'd be so much easier. But yeah, I have nothing against those types of videos. I would love to do more just kind of sit down and chat videos. It's just sort of that thing where like a lot of times I don't realize a story is interesting until I tell it to somebody and they go, oh my gosh, what a crazy story. And I go, I guess it is kind of a cool story. I should make a video about that. But nothing that I'm just typically doing or like experiencing. Like it doesn't feel noteworthy enough to make videos about it. Because like when things are happening, they're happening, and then like after some time has passed and I can see it all in 2020, like in the rearview mirror, kind of, you're like, I learned a lesson from that. But like I don't think about it in terms of YouTube video always. So I don't know. That'd be good. Maybe I should. Is there finally catching a stream? You've made it. Welcome. It's been a while. I thought this was Lilo. Oh yeah, the red ship. It does kind of look like the Lilo and Stitch ship, from the original. No, it looks a little similar. You're right. Put on screen. It does kind of look like that, but 'tis not. Did you finish the Unreal Engine 5 John Wick animation from last stream? I'm really intrigued by how you rigged the face for him. No, I have not finished it. I have not had any time to work on it since the last time I touched it. However, I am planning on working on it this weekend. Probably on Sunday. Not on stream, but I'm actively planning to finish that animation and finish that sequence this week, question mark? I'd like to do it this week, but I have a couple other projects I have to wrap up. So if I can get those out of the way, then I can work on it. And if those projects take me the whole week, then I got to work on it the following week. But it'll definitely get done within the next 2 weeks because I need to finish it. I need to use it for a video, and then I need to move on from it. So stand by. But I'm glad that you are interested in it. The face is interesting. The face is basically a custom control rig. It's nothing super fancy. It's a custom control rig that basically just gives me a control per bone inside the face, and I'm just individually moving them that way. I rotate the jaw, but the rest I'm just kind of translating around. It's nothing super fancy, but it gives me the control I need without a whole fancy interface, but I can get by because there's not all that many bones in John Wick's face. Hey, East Coast. Yeah, I've been enjoying the East Coast. New York is nice. I'm very happy with it so far. It's been a year and a half. Do you plan to work at a studio again anytime soon? Not really. I can't, there's been these waves of when I'm like, I really want to go back to work at a studio and like be a part of a team and do all this stuff. And then I like work on stuff on my own and I'm really satisfied with the projects that I'm doing. I really like to work with more people and work with more teams, but it is so hard to commit to working at a studio for me just because there's such freedom in a lot of the things that I do, and a lot of the projects that I'm doing are really fulfilling. And to work at a studio, I'd have to sort of commit to being there for a really long period of time. And I kind of go through waves of like, I've got some time to work on stuff, to like, I have no time to do anything, including eating or sleeping. I just stay up and work all the time. And so it'd be hard to actually join a studio because I would never want to put working at a studio above the like my own independent projects, which kind of makes it impossible to do both a lot of the times. I would like to work if I had a cool opportunity come across, it'd be really hard to say no. Sometimes I have to, but I would like to work at a studio again, to work with other people, but I don't currently have any plans to do so unless I can find something that I can like actually do at the same time as what I'm trying to do online. You could B-roll you animating something and then tell your stories. That's a good idea. Howard Wimhurst does a really good job of that. He's a 2D animator who does videos. A lot of that kind of videos where he's like talking and telling stories and it's just B-roll of him working. And I always enjoy those videos. So that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah. I don't have a lot of good B-roll. I guess I just have to set up a camera. I record my screen whenever I'm working. I guess that's the difference. I guess it's the difference of would you want to see the screen capture or like physically see me working at the computer? Because I don't usually record myself working when I'm animating, but I do capture my screen pretty much every time I do anything. So it's an option. It's a good option, actually. That's a good idea. I'd not really thought of that. I'm gonna write that down. Stories plus anim B-roll. Story's king, but needs a beautiful dance partner and sound and sight. I like that. That's a good way to put that. Hi, I've been a longtime fan. Always use your videos reference for improving my animations. Thanks for amazing content. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Thank you for watching. There's so many more videos that I would like. I like whenever someone says, "Oh, you make videos and they're helpful," my brain immediately goes to, "Oh, I wonder if you watched the video that and then I realize that I haven't uploaded yet. I've filmed a handful of really good videos. I have not edited them yet because it takes me so long to edit videos. And so I was thinking, oh, I wonder if you've seen oh shoot, that video doesn't exist yet. There's one video that I filmed actually there's two. I can think of two different videos in Maya that I'm really proud of, that I think are gonna be really good. I filmed them. When did I film those videos? One of them's from like October of last year. I think I filmed the other one in like December or January. They're still super relevant. It's not like it matters when they're filmed. It's just I haven't had time to edit them. They're sitting on a hard drive. Sorry about that. Anyway, moving right along. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope to have more good ones out for you soon. Says custom control rig and not too fancy in the same sentence. I will say, I'm not the one who made the custom control rig. A friend of mine, Anthony Coithra, who goes by Locodrome with some of the tools he creates. He created the control rig where it's a procedural rig where the construction script goes through and it finds every control and it generates, it finds every bone and it makes a control for that bone and assigns it and does some different stuff. When I say not too fancy, it might be because I don't fully understand how it was created. And so to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a simple concept, custom control rig. And he says it wasn't that complicated. And so I just go, so it's easy then. Great. But I didn't make it. So, yeah. Caught me there. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a Bucket Headland cartoon? Isn't there? Oh, I'm thinking of Cuphead. I'm thinking of Cuphead. Cuphead has a cartoon. It has a series, doesn't it? On Netflix or something? I'm pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they do, right? Screen recording? Well, that's easy enough. I have that. It's not a bad idea. But if you're East Coast, it's also 11 for you. Yes, it is 11 p.m. Late night stream. Yeah. I wanted to go live at like noon today, like 10 a.m. or noon, and then I just had meeting after meeting, and then I had surprise meetings, and then I had appointments, and then I had some posting of stuff I had to do, and then I had emails that came up, and gosh, it was a really busy day actually. Today my calendar was pretty flexible. I was like, oh, tomorrow, Friday's gonna be pretty easy. I don't have much on the calendar. I'm gonna have all this time to work on stuff, and I was just swamped from like 10 a.m. until like 10 p.m. Just full time. I was completely swamped. Like I don't even know where my phone is. Actually, I think I know where I might have left it. I haven't seen my phone in hours. I should bet. Sometimes people text me and I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't see your message. And like, I do not see it. Because I don't know where I put my phone down at some point during the day and I don't go back for it because I just sit at my computer and I work constantly. And when I get back to my phone, there are so many notifications that I can't even scroll through all of them. I either just have to like let them be there and I'll say, I'll get to them eventually. And eventually they disappear. Or sometimes I just have to hit the clear all and then they go away. And then anyway, it was a busy day is what I'm trying to say. Moho animation? What is Moho? Do you use Adobe to edit it or DaVinci? I used to use Premiere many years ago, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I used to use Premiere. I switched to Resolve in 2021, and it was the best thing I ever did. I use Resolve now for all of my videos, and I love DaVinci Resolve. It's so much better than Premiere. Like, Premiere has its own merits, I suppose, right? Like, there are reasons why Premiere could be considered good, but Resolve is the superior editing tool by far. It's so much faster. It just works. So much pain in Premiere. Premiere has a few features that I really like that Resolve doesn't have yet, but man, Resolve is the way to go. Anyway, yes. I'd like to find some more editing help. I'd like to find more video editing help. I have an editor that I work with occasionally, but usually I'm usually like, oh my gosh, I just filmed this and I need this edited like immediately because I don't have a lot of time in between stuff. But so the person I often work with, he is a little bit more organized and he has other clients. And so when I'm like, hey, do you have time to edit this by like sometime next week? He's like, no, I'm swamped next week. I have other stuff But I could do it in like 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, it's too late by then. And so I don't work with him all that often. And he's pretty good. The other thing for me is I'm very particular. Not like, I don't think in like a bad way, but like I really, when it comes to the edit, I know what I want, and I have very specific things I like to have in my software, like certain ways I want things edited so that I can, I don't know, for my pipeline, it's very important to have things done a certain way. And man, it takes forever to train someone on how I want it done. If they don't already know, if they're not already like a significantly better editor than me, which I'm not an editor, that's not my thing. But that's the thing, it's like, for me to want to hire someone to be my editor, I have worked with people in the past they weren't editors, and I helped like train them into editing. And in a few cases that worked out really well. But typically at this point, I don't have time to train somebody and like go through the learning process. Like if I'm gonna hire an editor, I need them to be a better or faster editor than me. And if they do it differently than I do it, they have to be significantly better and faster to where it's worth not doing it my way. And if they're like around the same level as me, then I kind of need them to do it the way that's like compatible with how I'm gonna have to eventually do stuff. But I'm very particular about it because I have been doing it now for almost 10 years, and I've really kind of locked down a system. Anyway, video editing. It's also hard to find. Also very hard to find the right fit for hiring editors. Anyway. What am I talking about? Hey Morgan, how you doing? Long since we last talked, how are you doing? Good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? So think about the mentorship and the things you taught me. Kind of missed it. That's nice of you. Yeah, the mentorship was fun. I have the mentorship on pause right now. I haven't been doing the mentorship for 4 months. I think I did it. I think I paused it after February of this year. I've just been so busy. I had to pause my mentorship, which is crazy. I've been doing a mentorship program in one form or another since like 2018, 2019. Yeah, like a long time. And I finally had to like hit pause. I've just been so busy. But I do kind of miss it. I miss it too, but just I don't have time for it at the moment. I'd like to reintroduce it, but I have to make some changes to it to figure out the timing with my schedule. Oh, you know Anthony. Looking forward to his local drum package for procedural setups. Chatted with him about on LinkedIn. He's so nice. He is wonderful. He's so helpful. He was a big help for my Unreal presentation, actually, which I have open, in case anyone's curious. Let me clear that out. Yeah, I gave a presentation at Unreal Fest Orlando earlier this month. And very long presentation. It was an hour. And Anthony was a big help with some of the stuff that I had in there. I had some different demos that I had some of his assets in. Where is that slide? But Anthony created the MetaHuman animation tool, which is this thing on the right, which I'm a big fan of. Really love this tool. If you use Unreal Engine and you animate characters, metahumans, mannequins, whatever, you should get this. It's free. He made it free. It's like, it's pay what you want. So I grabbed that on Gumroad. Super great tool. Yeah, he was a big help on my presentation. And yeah, I've been helping how I can with the face stuff. What camera am I using? I'm using the Canon EOS R. It's a DSLR mirrorless camera, which if I was trying to find a way to show it to you. I don't have anything reflective. Oh well, yeah. But that's what this camera is. I used to film videos on it, but then I upgraded from my YouTube videos to something a little fancier. I take full credit on Storytime with Sir Wade, as you should. I was using CapCut, then TikTok got banned, and that went away for a day. Favorite feature premieres and doesn't respond and then shuts off. CapCut's a pretty good editing tool for being free. And yeah, my favorite feature of Premiere is when you import enough footage all at once and it crashes. That's probably my favorite feature. Or my second favorite feature in Premiere is every time you hit start and stop with the space bar, that little bit of time that gets wasted as you wait for the delay when you hit play and it goes, and then it starts playing. Love that. Should I tell a little secret about knowing how to get... What? Interesting. Go for it, I guess. Am I generally happy in life? I am generally happy in life. I feel like time flies by because I enjoy what I do and I work so much, but I enjoy what I do when I work. That like months will go by and I won't realize that it's been months. So I work a lot, but I like my work, and so I like what I do, yes. Did you get a Switch 2? And if no, will you? I did not get a Switch 2. I might. I don't know. I waited. I was in the midnight, like I was in line at midnight to get the Switch when it first came out, like 7 or 8 years ago. Got the Switch, Breath of the Wild, went home. I was sick from work for a couple of days playing Breath of the Wild. I don't even think I like was sick. I think I straight up was just like, I'm not coming in. I'm taking sick days, but I won't be here. And I stayed home for like 2 days and played Breath of the Wild. And then when I finally started coming back into the office, I was bringing the Switch with me and playing in between meetings. That was when I was at DreamWorks. But anyway, I was all about the Switch 1. I didn't get a Switch OLED until the Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition came out. I did get that. And because I have that, I didn't feel it was like I shouldn't get the Switch 2. Like I have the Switch, and then I got the Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED, which is basically just another Switch. But my original Switch was like no longer really holding a charge, and I wanted the Special Edition. But yeah, so at this point I was like, do I need the Switch 2? I like submitted for the pre-order to see like, hey, maybe I'll get it, and I didn't, and so I was like, not meant to be. I don't currently have any plans to pick it up, although there are some games that I really want to play. I'm not that big a fan of Mario Kart. Like, there are certain Mario Karts that I love. The original Super Mario Kart, loved it. Played it all the time when I was a kid. Like, really, like, that was so much fun. Friend of mine had Mario Kart 64. I didn't have it. Friend had it. We enjoyed that. Loved Double Dash. But ever since then, like, I could take it or leave it. I had Mario Kart Wii. I had Mario Kart 8 or whatever it was. I'm not all that good at Mario Kart. I don't really care for Mario Kart. Racing games aren't my thing. I like Mario games, but meh. So, I don't know. Mario Kart World's like interesting, but it's also so expensive. $80 for Mario Kart? I don't know. So, honestly, I was more tempted about like 60 FPS Tears of the Kingdom, but again, I got the Switch OLED, so do I really need it? The thing though, I'm really interested in the new Donkey Kong game. That looks really good. I love Donkey Kong games, the old ones anyway. And the other thing though, like Kirby Air Riders? Anybody? I loved Kirby Air Ride. Like the original GameCube Kirby's Air Ride. Loved that game. I sunk so many hours into that. I had like neighborhood kids in my like cul-de-sac that I lived in growing up, that like these other like neighborhood kids, like they'd all come over and we'd play like multiplayer on like Kirby. Like that was my game. I loved Kirby Air Ride. And so like I was so convinced we'd never get a sequel to that. I can't believe we get a sequel from the original develop. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna have to get a Switch 2 to play Kirby Air Riders. As long as it's good, please be good. I'm sure it'll be good, but like I want City Trial, I want to be able to customize the length of time. I want to go unlimited. I want to customize power-ups. I want more mini events. Like, oh, I love Kirby's Air Ride. So if they give a true, like, next level to that, then yeah, I will get the Switch 2 just for that game. But until I know more about it, I'm not in a rush. Oh man, I am really behind in the chat. I'm going to try and go as fast as I can through some questions here. Also, hi everybody. Thanks for coming in. Let's see. I am really behind. After the bouncing ball, what do I animate next? Typically after a bouncing ball, it's like the pendulum or a ball with a tail. It's like overlapping action kind of stuff. If you want to check out, I think I have it on. If you check out my course website, like my course page, courses.starway.com, I have my animation basics and fundamentals class, and I think it says on that page some of the assignments that I give, and that's like bouncing ball, and then I name a couple of others. Those are the ones in that order that I typically recommend. But yeah, it's more fundamentals. Hello, Sir Wade. I have a question. Is it too late to learn animation when over 30? No, absolutely not. Over 30 is not even old. Like, no. You could learn animation like after 60 and be fine. Like, no. No, it's definitely not too late. What's up, Yuri? Have you read the Animator Survival Kit? That will give you some good examples to try. I thought you were asking me that at first, and I thought you were calling me out. I have the Animator Survival Kit. I'm looking at it right now, and I'll tell you a secret. I haven't read it. I never read it. It's right there. Not unopened, but I've not read it. But that's not to say that it's not a good book or something. Yes, that's accurate. It will give you some good examples, 100%. Just, it's kind of funny. I didn't have money for that when I was learning animation. And I was like, it's a book. What do books know? Books know lots. I was being dumb. I was just being like, I don't need it, it's fine. Probably would have helped. I didn't take my animation education as seriously as I should have when I first started it. I suffered for it. I learned my lesson. If I were going to go back and redo it, I'd probably read the book. But at this point, I never did. And now I'm sure I'd still learn great stuff from it today, but like, I don't really have time to read it right now. I don't need it at the moment. Oh man, I'm so behind in these questions. I forgot that's what it feels like to go live, is to be behind in the chat. Let's see. What was the Unreal Fest speaker experience like? I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I spoke on a Tuesday, I want to say. Wednesday? No, I spoke on a Wednesday. At Unreal Fest, I spoke on a Wednesday, right? Keep that in your head. Wednesday. I did not sleep between Saturday at 10 in the morning and Tuesday night at about 2 a.m. I took a 3-hour nap from like 2 a.m. I actually think it was about from like 1 in the morning to 3:30. That's what it was. Yeah, it was about 1 in the morning to 3:30 in the morning the night before my talk, because I figured I should get some sleep the night before, because I was trying to adjust my presentation and I wanted to change stuff. And I had originally planned a very different presentation than the one I actually gave, but then I made some changes and I redid it. And I didn't sleep for days preparing. It was rough. I was so tired. I was so delirious. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. But my God, I took that like 2.5 whatever hour nap, and then I got up in the morning. It was again like 3:30 a.m. I got up to finish my presentation and get my examples and stuff all ready and put it all on a flash drive. And I got up and I went to the hotel shower, and I'm like, I'm like doing the soap, I'm doing the stuff, and I see movement. The biggest cockroach I've ever seen in my life is like chill. I brought my own shower products. I had my own little shampoo, conditioner, you know, soap and all the stuff. Thank goodness, because I turn, you know how hotels often have like the little like pump receptacles on the wall. There's like the biggest cockroach I've ever seen just sitting underneath one of those little. It's just like sitting, moving around. It's just on. Oh, horrendous. It was a whole thing. Yeah, anyway. It was crazy. What was I saying? The Unreal Fest speaker experience was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the experience of speaking at that conference. I was so excited about it. I was really nervous about it. And I think it went well. I just reviewed the recording literally like 2-3 hours ago. I got sent the recording of my talk to see if there were any like major issues. So I watched the whole presentation for the first time all the way through, and I think it did okay. I think it went well, and that talk will end up on YouTube, which is very cool. So that's pretty sweet, but I enjoyed it. I had fun. Oh man, with every question I get further behind in the chat because I talk too much. I need to be less long-winded. I've been learning a lot from you. I even made an animation, although it needs some work. Oh, that's awesome. That's what you should post it somewhere so we can see it. Like in the Discord or something. Nice people hang out from New Zealand. Question: are there any tutorials, training you recommend on how to create an IKFK snapping script? I don't have the answer to that because it's not really my scripting's not my thing. I would look at Rigging Dojo. I would look at Rigging Dojo. Honestly, like send an email to Rigging Dojo. It's a school for rigging, online stuff. Some of the best riggers in our industry teach there or know them. I would ask them. I would ask them and say, hey, this is something I want to learn. Where would you recommend? Like maybe they have a class for it, or maybe they just know the best resource for it or something. Because I'm not sure, but that's where I would go to look. You just got your Switch a year ago? Late to the party, but glad you finally got there. Although, yeah, there's 2 now. Hello? Yes. I started playing Mario Kart 8 where my daughter plays Minecraft on my computer. Oh, that's awesome. Gotta get some multiplayer Minecraft. I love Minecraft. I will always enjoy Minecraft. I like the distinguishment of the Sir title. It reminds me of Maestro, which means teacher. Well, Sir's my first name. So if you would like, you can call me Maestro Sir, and it would be accurate. The new Metroid game. Oh, right. The Metroid was a new Metroid Prime. I forgot about that. All right, let's see. One summer I read that book cover to cover. Very outdated, but still good. It is very outdated, but I imagine also still good. I have the DVD version of that book too. There's like the book, and then there's like a DVD box set, which I have on the shelf. And I've watched like an intro clip from it, and it doesn't age well. There's a lot of overlap on characters where there doesn't need to be overlap on characters. Yeah, so I've learned animation from many teachers. They have different methods, and so I'm confused about this. Until now, I'm not sure about my knowledge in animation. Could you give me some advice? Wait, hold on. I've learned animation from many teachers. Yeah, sure. Did you have a certain question? Happy to weigh in on it. The best thing I took was keep it simple, stupid. An excellent lesson. It's odd being here. Wait, it's odd it's been this long, and I just now kind of grasped some things in animation. A normal person would have quit by now. Hope it's not too late to get back into it. It's never too late to get back into it. No, you're good. There are many things that like you'll hear them and you'll understand one meaning, and then like later on you'll hear the same piece of information and it'll mean something completely new to you. It'll just click in a different way. That's a totally normal experience. That means you've grown. How do you feel about the new Unreal animation tools versus the new Maya tools? How much time you have? I'll give you the short answer. And as far as the new Unreal tools, I'm a big fan. I'm doing a whole class on the new tools. If anyone wants to learn the new tools, there's so many good ones. I'm doing 2 different 2-week classes in July. The character animation one shows the animation tools specifically, and I'm going through all the new stuff. Deformers and rig utilities. I go through all the constraints and the stuff that we have at Animbot. I do cover some of the more classic lessons, like Maya and Blender to Unreal, like that kind of stuff that most people want to know. But I go through all the new 5.6 stuff, which isn't really written here, but that's kind of the whole point of since it's 5.6. I'm going through all the new fancy stuff. Yes, the key features and updates for 5.6, the largest animation release yet. Unreal is absolutely killing it. Epic is doing such a good job with the new tools in Unreal. It's so impressive. If I can tell you this, I have been working on more creative projects in the last 6 months than usual. Like I've been actively doing creative things for about 6 months, which is really nice because I usually don't have a lot of time for actually like being creative. I've been doing a lot of it. And I have been doing almost every project almost exclusively in Unreal. And that's not even like on purpose. I just kind of I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this project. And I jump in Unreal and I start working. And then I like work on it. And then I basically finish it. And I go, I didn't use anything else. I didn't even open Maya. Sometimes I'll open certain tools, like I'll use EmberGen for explosions and volumes. Sometimes I'll do certain things in Blender. But like, except for teaching, I haven't opened Maya to do anything like specifically animation in like 6 months. Yeah, if I haven't been like teaching, I haven't used Maya at all lately. Not to say that there's no place for it. Like there are certain things that I want to still make that I can only make in Maya. Just because like the rigs that I have and the assets that I'm using. There's a fruit fly. It got went for my eye. Get him. I'm watching my preview of this stream is a little bit delayed, so I just watched what you saw. Looked ridiculous. Hate those fruit flies. It's the worst part about summer. Anyway, Unreal's killing it. They're doing awesome. Their tools are great. I'm very happy with it. Maya hasn't come out with anything that interesting for animators in a while. Not that their updates aren't like good updates, but it's not the same. Like Maya does not have the development force behind them like Epic does. And even if they did, like I don't think Maya's looking to like change itself all that much. Maya has its way of doing things, and it's not gonna rip it all out and redo it because everyone relies on Maya to be what it is. Unreal is like reinventing what it means to animate in 3D. It is so cool. So yeah. So if you want to learn, I got you. Classes. Also, reminder, just in case you didn't hear this before. Yes, I am doing Unreal classes, which is which is linked. It's a pinned comment over there if you're curious about it. Summer of Unreal, 2 classes. But I'm also considering doing some affordable animation classes this summer. If you're interested in that, there's a Google Forms link in the description to this video and in the pinned comment to this form. And you can see I'm considering these classes. Technical animation skills, which covers constraints, graph editor, animation layers, cycles, and so on. Different things like that. And then I'm also considering an advanced body mechanics class and or a facial lip sync and dialogue class. I'm only going to do 1 or 2 of them. And for these 2, there's also the option to do them like... Oh, I just realized I need to fix that, actually. I just realized that's typed incorrectly. There. Let me fix that. There, yeah, so now you can see technical animation skills, which is like these things, and then an advanced body mechanics class and a facial lip sync dialogue class. And then for these two, I can either do them as just like the lectures and some assignments that I'll recommend, or I can do a version that also includes feedback. But it kind of just changes how much time is available. If any of this sounds interesting and you're like, ooh, I would want to take these. Also, the pricing's all up here for you to take a look at. If this sounds interesting, fill out the form and you can vote and you can tell me like, ooh, yes, I want to take a certain one of these for sure. And like, I might want to take the other ones. Anyway, if you're interested, fill out the form because this is for sure happening. And this might happen if there's enough interest. If enough people want to take it, I'll do it. But I'm not going to go through all the work to do a whole class and put it all together if people don't actually want to take it, and then I've done all the prep work for nothing, and then I don't end up doing it at all. So if you're interested, fill out the form. The Unreal one is good to sign up for. You can sign up for the Unreal one now, but the animation one is a kind of a feedback thing. It's crazy amount of hours to stay away for a lesson learned. Time for me to go to bed. Fair. Looking forward to the talk once it's up. In the meantime, have a good night. For sure. Thanks for being here. It is currently 11:30. It is currently 11:37. Let's see how long it takes for her to get here. 11:46. 9 minutes. That's less than 10. It's not too bad. Yeah, Rigging Dojo. Great place to go. Happy to recommend it. Probably not the place for this, but I uploaded my animation on this channel if you have some time to review. Oh, cool. Yeah, I won't do it on the stream, but I'm gonna click your channel to open it for later. Oh, sweet. Nice. Let me move this over here. I stopped using Maya for fluids, fire, etc., and then switched to Houdini to export it to Unreal. That's a good call. Maya can for sure do those things, but like Houdini is the thing that, yeah. I would say that for fluids, fire, that kind of stuff, Houdini is obviously number one. You could also do some of that stuff in Unreal with Niagara, but I don't think that's necessarily anybody's first choice. Houdini is always the best option. And I'd recommend Embergen. Embergen's really solid. It depends on what level you need it to be and like how much like control you need, but Embergen's really good. I'm really impressed with it. My favorite pastime in your streams is timestamping. I'm interested to know how long it takes me to get to these messages, so hey, feel free. Hello, internet person? Why, hello, internet person. Hey, Prashant, how you doing? I'm doing good. How have you been? Good to see you. Are you going to Lightbox this year? Oh! I can talk about that now. Last time we did the stream, I couldn't talk about it, I don't think. I don't even remember. I think I knew, but I don't think I could talk about it. I'm speaking at Lightbox this year. I'm giving 2 different presentations at Lightbox, which is exciting. I've wanted to speak at Lightbox since it started. And I'm 2 things. I'm speaking at Lightbox, I'm giving 2 presentations, which I actually need to, in the next couple of weeks, I need to make sure I put that stuff on their website. And then I'm also exhibiting at Lightbox. I'm gonna have a table. I'm gonna have like a sponsor table. I don't know where, but yeah, I'll have a table somewhere. What are my talks on? I'm doing an Unreal Engine talk for 3D artists. I don't know how long. I think the talk's like 45 minutes or something. And then I'm doing a talk on. I think the pitch I submitted was the art of going solo, creating opportunities as independent artists and creators. or something like that. Yeah, it's about going independent. So yeah, those are my 2 talks at Lightbox. So if you're going to Lightbox this year, you should come to my talks. You'll be there too? Yay, sweet. Yeah, I'm trying to put together some more stuff for Lightbox, but I won't talk about those things until they're official. But yes, those are the things that I know are happening. So if anyone is going to Lightbox, I'll be there. Is it free? Is Embergen free? Embergen is not free. They do have a free trial, and even if you like don't pay for the license, you can still use it. But if you can't like export the stuff, obviously, which is the whole point of having it, most likely. But they have a free trial, so you can explore it for free, and it's a really good free trial. But yeah, no, it does cost some money, but it's well worth it if that's the kind of thing you need. And it's not a subscription. You own it, which is nice. They also have actually I'll just open I'll just show you guys the page. Jenga Effects is the company, and they make multiple tools. They have Embergen and Liquidgen are the 2 that I show off the most. So yeah, Embergen is smoke, fire, explosions, it's volumetrics, and it's like real-time simulations. It's really, really good. I feel like their website does not even do their own product justice. Oh, I didn't even know they had a presets marketplace. That's cool. Honestly, I had no idea. Huh. I bet if I went to... Oh, yeah, anyway. They have some really cool stuff, though. And then they have Liquidgen, which is fluids. Very impressive. And so you can import and export stuff between like Maya, Blender, Unreal, whatever, Houdini. I don't know why you'd go from Houdini, but you can. I don't know, actually, I could think of reasons why you would. But anyway, it's really, really cool. Really fast, really powerful. Highly recommend. What is Lightbox? Lightbox is a art and animation conference expo thing that happens in Pasadena, California every year in October. So it's in LA, and it's great. It's nice. It's been around for I think 6 years, maybe 7, but I think about 6 years, and it's a really, really fun event. Good place to meet recruiters, other artists. You can buy some art prints. You can sell your art if you get a table. You can buy great art prints and things. Just panels and talks to go to, demo reel reviews to get. You can show your work to Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, whoever's there, all that kind of stuff. Sony's usually there. It's a really cool event. Definitely check it out. Do or have you ever played RuneScape? You seem like a RuneScaper. Am I that transparent? Give me 2 seconds. I love RuneScape. That's like my childhood. I even have the art book for RuneScape, which when I found this, I was so excited. Look at that. The world map. So many memories. I played old school RuneScape. 100%. Yes. There it is. This just brings, like, I can just hear the music in my head. Yeah, anyway. I loved RuneScape. Why do you ask? How did you know? How did you know, actually? I've never been like... I've never been so called out. Anyway. Yes, I love RuneScape. Oh my god, I almost just knocked over this giant thing of water. That's the sign that I should drink some of it. RuneScape is what got me into like fantasy, actually. RuneScape was I think RuneScape might have been my first significant exposure to the world of like fantasy and medieval anything and knights and dragons and magic and all of that. RuneScape was like my beginning of that stuff, which is just the best. So yeah, I'm just thinking of RuneScape. You're on Old School RuneScape? That's what your content's about? I'm going to your channel. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Hello.
Sorry, not gonna play. Heck yeah. Ooh. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna be watching some of your content later. Subscribe. Yeah, I love RuneScape. I thought it'd be fun to do like an Unreal Engine RuneScape short film thing. I haven't done it yet, obviously, but it's been something I've been thinking about for the better part of like a year or so. Like a year ago, I had the idea, and I've been kind of sitting on it, thinking on it, and like, oh, what would I do? I haven't figured it out yet, but yeah. Anyway. How did you know? Should I use Anim Tool or not? My team leads are asking, but I only have a year of experience. Should I use Anim Tool? What is do you mean Animbot? Is that what you're referring to? My team leads are asking, but I only have 1 year of experience. I'm not sure I understand the situation. So you're wondering if you should use Anim Tool. I'm assuming you mean Animbot. Your team leads are asking. What are they asking? Are they asking if you should, and so you're also wondering if you should? I don't know. Animbot's a great tool. I would recommend checking it out, maybe trying the trial. I mean, honestly, if you animate in Maya, you should be using Animbot, but you should be able to do most of Animbot's features. Like, you should know how to animate without relying on a tool like Animbot, because if you work somewhere where you don't have access to it, you don't want to be stuck not being able to do the job. That said, if you are going to be working professionally in Maya, it makes it so much easier to get your job done. So you should check out the Scald. He does old school RuneScape animations. Looking that up right now. Ah. Oh wait, I think I've seen this guy's videos. Actually, I have. Yes, I have. I'm looking at this page right now, and I can see that I've watched 1 or 2 or 3. Yes, I've watched 3 of his videos at some point in the past. But I didn't remember this channel. I'll subscribe to it so I don't lose it again. And then also his beats. I have found some of those remixes actually. I'll go onto them occasionally. I'd love to do like a really cool high quality like RuneScape animation something. But I have like no reason to do it. I just think it would be fun. DM him. Yes, I accept. Fine. DM me on Discord because I don't have Discord open right now. Or if I do, my monitors are configured in such a way right now where like all of my windows are like it's stupid. All my windows that are open are not open on the 2 monitors I'm working with. They're open in some like liminal space that does not exist, and I can't get them back until I put my monitors back to the way they normally go. Then they'll reconfigure. So Discord is in the ether right now. anymore. No, I'm saying any type of animation tools. I want to learn basics, but I feel like I will miss out on many things which would be automatically done with tools like overlap or many more. Oh, I see. Any type of animation tools. Well, I mean, you've got the right idea, right? You should definitely learn to do things like without the tools, but once you know how to do those things, like, feel free to use the tools, you know? Because it's the same thing I said before. It's like, do whatever you need to do to get the job done and to get it done like quickly and effectively, but don't shoot yourself in the foot by like skipping information that's going to help you actually do your thing. I'm waving at John's emoji. I don't know what all these emojis mean, but I'm gonna wave at the one of the hand because that feels like the appropriate response to the hand one is to wave at it. Any advice for doing a 3D animated group project with friends? Yes, actually, I also could show you guys I have something to show you guys. But first, good wizard, tell me more about this project, because my advice is different depending on how the project is set up. While you're thinking of how you'll describe it, I'm going to show you guys I taught a class recently. So actually, hold on. Let me walk it back. I'm going to show you guys my animation students' final project recently, because they did a great job, and I think that we should watch their project. But let me give you the quick backstory. So I teach my own classes, right? Like the links in the description and the links on the side. I teach a lot of my own classes, and occasionally schools will ask me to come in and do a talk or do a presentation, or sometimes I'll go do like training events for studios or for professional artists. And so I do different types of things. But about a year ago, a professor at a university approached me and said, "Hey, we have an opening at our university, and our animation program is pretty, like they have a whole 3D program that's actually really good. And they said, we have an opening for someone to teach some animation classes. Would you be interested?" And it was one of those things. I was just like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Like, I'd give it a shot. And so I did. I gave it a shot, and I taught like the animation 1, or animation 2. I don't know. I taught like the intro to animation class at this college. And it's really funny because it's like a real university that I'm teaching at right now. And it's funny because I'm a college dropout. I don't have a degree. And so when I was going through the paperwork, I had to do like, background check and all that kind of stuff for when you start a new position and something like that. I had to go through this whole HR process of paperwork and things. And the system automatically rejected me like 3 times. Because it made me go through this like application thing of like, oh, to be eligible for this, to be a professor essentially. And so I filled out all my stuff, and it asked me various questions. And one of those questions like, oh, do you have a degree, and from where, and what is it, and blah blah blah. Of course I'm like, no, I don't have a degree, da 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 da. Some college, highest education, trade school, that kind of thing. And I get an email like immediately. I say, submit, application denied, rejected. You're not qualified to be a professor, because you have to have a degree to work in higher education. And so I was like, oh, sorry guys. Like I sent like the screenshot. And so the school had to go in and like manually override their system to like let me in, which is really funny. And so it's just like this nice little, to me, I'm just like it's just, haha, I beat the system. I was very pleased with myself. Anyways. So I taught that class, and then I got offered to teach that class again, which I was kind of curious about a different class that they offered. So anyway, I taught that first class, and then recently I also taught a different class. It was a more advanced, like the juniors and seniors in college, a more advanced animation class. It was like an advanced body mechanics kind of class. And I've been offered, unofficially, I'm talking to the school about some other potential classes I might teach later in the year. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I've been teaching at Drexel University, which is a school in Pennsylvania. Philadelphia in Pennsylvania? Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay, I'm not dumb. It is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't know geography. I'm not proud of that one, but like my geographical education is real lacking because education in the US and in my school district where I grew up leaves some to be desired. So anyway. So yes, I've been teaching it at Drexel. So I've been a professor for like a year. So I am Professor Sir, which some of my students have gotten a kick out of, which is funny. Why was I telling this story? Oh, because I was going to show you my student final project. So they just finished the term like 2-3 weeks ago, and I had them doing group projects. And I assigned them a type of animation group project that we did in the Unreal Fellowship when I was mentoring and instructing that program with Epic Games. And so the type of project is, it's a group animation project where you make one big animation, but it's not like a story. It's where each animation connects to the other in one way or another, but it doesn't require you to have like shots that have like a narrative structure. Each artist gets to do their own thing with their own character and kind of have their own creativity, but it's how they blend from shot to shot that they have to collaborate on. And not in a way that's like loopable, because then they could be edited in any order and it doesn't matter how you do it. The way I had them do it, they actually have to collaborate with these, like the adjacent shot partners. So they have to actually coordinate with each other. So there's still some collaboration, but they have still a lot of creative freedom within their own shots. And I had 2 teams. I divided my students into 2 teams. One team chose to have a ball move from shot to shot. And that's the thing that sort of transitions you from one animator to the next, is how the ball transitions in and out of each shot. That's how they connect them. The other team did something different. I'll explain that as I show it to you. But first, let me show you the ball team. So these are my students. I taught them for 10 weeks. They animated in Maya. This student rendered their shot in Unreal, but this is all done in Maya. And let me make the full screen so you can see a little bit bigger. And here's one team. See how the ball bounced in and then it comes down, then it falls into the next shot, right? So the ball is the thing that moves us from shot to shot. And that is team ball, and it kind of loops technically. So there's that. So that is the first team of my students and the work that they made in their final project, which I thought they did a great job. And then there's a second team. Then they took on a slightly more difficult challenge. Their challenge is basically the idea of you are flipping through channels on a TV, and you're flipping through channels on a TV, and let's say you're watching the Weather Channel, and somebody points over here, and then the channel changes. Now you're watching the Sports Network or whatever, and the person on screen is in the same pose as was in the last shot, and then they do something different for their shot. And then they get into this pose, and then you change to the Sci-Fi Channel, and that's the pose that their character starts in. And so each different channel, it's a pose matching thing. So the poses have to match from shot to shot, right? So that's gonna be Team 2. Here is their project. There's no sound, by the way, just to make sure you know you're not missing anything. And there it is. And that was Team 2, channel matching. So yeah, those are my students. They did so well. Yeah, this was a 10-week class, and only like 10% of the students in this class actually want to be animators. The rest of the students want to be story artists, modelers, concept art, game dev, graphic design, like a couple rigging. Like most of the students in the class were not like striving to be animators, and yet everybody like learned a bunch of stuff, applied it super well, and made these great projects. So very, very impressed with how everybody did. So very cool. So those are my students, and that's the class that I did with them. Which again, if you want to learn from me, fill out the form. You can vote for some animation classes if you want them, or you can join the Unreal classes for that stuff. But anyway, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, Good Wizard, you had a question. Advice for 3D animated group projects with friends, and you said, it's a group of friends that play D&D and can do all parts of the 3D pipeline, from modeling to animation to VFX to compositing. We're trying to make an animated 2-minute long sequence from our campaign. That is such a fun idea. I love that. Oh, also this question that I missed from above. Do I use Asana for project manager for projects? I do not. I've been using Milanote to organize my own personal projects. I've tried Asana, I've tried Monday, I've tried ClickUp. I don't really like most of them. I've been using Milanote for my own stuff, but I mostly just wing it and have a mix of writing stuff down and Milanote. But Good Wizard, that is so cool. I'm kind of jealous. A group of friends that play D&D is already something to be envious of. Super cool. But the fact that you all do the 3D pipeline stuff, you just want like general advice for doing 3D animated group projects? I mean, first step, right, is like finding the part of the campaign that you want to create. Everyone's got to be on board. and like motivated to do it. Somebody needs to be named the director, in my opinion. Like somebody's got to be kind of responsible for the direction of like, or at the very least, it's either got to be someone is in charge of the vision, if someone has a really clear idea of how to do whatever it is or has a good idea, or you guys need to establish early on how you're going to decide disputes. Like figure out the shared vision of the project and then decide up front, how do you make the decision if you disagree later on? Do you take turns? Is it a vote? Whatever. Like that's just a good thing to sort of figure out is like what's the, not that there needs to be like a chain of command or anything, but like if you hit a difficulty, how do you move forward? That's a conversation that should happen, just to set an expectation. Just so that like nobody gets frustrated. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, you kind of just have to start, right? Like, you figure out the story, which you kind of have through your campaign. I guess brainstorm how you want to tackle and how you want to portray whatever that moment is, that sequence of events. And what I would say is identify together what the most important elements are that you all want to do and accomplish and show and like work on. And what are the things that if it really comes down to it, you might be willing to adjust or cut if needed. You might not have to have that conversation right off the bat, but I think a good conversation to have is to kind of identify what is most important to everybody, what's everybody's priority, like what does everybody care about when it comes to making the project. That way you can sort of plan it so that everybody gets what they want. And you know where you can cut corners if you need to. Beyond that, kind of just jumping in. If you're, and just, I guess like picking your software and stuff, like if you're using Unreal Engine, then you can set it up so that you can all work together. If you're doing it all separately in silos, then you're gonna have to start with like storyboard or layout or animatics or some kind of like visual something. I don't know. That's sort of my first thoughts when it comes to that process, but I'm not sure if that actually helps to answer your question. It's mostly communication and setting expectations and planning. Those are the first most important things. Excuse me, sir. As a high school graduate, which is better between college or courses to get a job in 3D animation? To get a job, it's about your experience and your skills, so your demo reel. You can learn those skills anywhere. If you go to college for 3D, pick a college that's not going to break the bank, put you in crazy debt, and is going to give you the information that you seek and the people that you want to be connected with and like work with and collaborate with and like have a good experience with to learn from and grow. And if college is not in the cards for you, that's totally fine because there's so many great online places to learn. You don't need a degree. The fruit fly. It went for me again. It's not about a degree or anything like that. So don't worry about like the prestige of the school. Go for like the quality of the education, the people, the projects, the teachers, the mentors, the tools, that kind of stuff. My thing is like you can always start at the less expensive options and you can always spend more money later, you know, like you don't need to jump into the most expensive thing off the bat. So you know, you should do whatever you can to explore your options as much as possible for an affordable go at it. Like don't go into crazy debt and don't lock yourself into anything unless you're sure. just explore, have fun with it. That's my advice. Also with the caveat that degrees don't matter as much unless you're international and you need a visa to work somewhere. Then degrees might be helpful in securing a visa. But other than that, it's not going to matter to the studio. It's just about your work more than anything. What's up, Throwaway? I have followed you as long as I can remember. Thank you for thinking. Wait, I have followed your work. I have followed you as long as I can remember. Thank you for thinking of us little guys. Your work is making too. That's very nice of you, but nobody's little. We're all just doing our best, you know. But thank you for following my stuff. Hey, sorry for the weird question. I'm a junior 3D animator at my first job. Congratulations. Working for about 5 months. I'm struggling to keep up with the speed and work quality that is demanded of me there. That's a fair question. How do I keep up despite there not being an actual senior mentor animator to guide me? That's a bummer. What part of the industry do you work in? Is this TV? Is this features? Is this games? Is this commercials? Is it kids content? Like, what is it you're doing? So I can sort of mentally connect some dots here. Junior animator, my first job, working for about 5 months, trying to keep up the speed and quality. How do you feel like? I mean, VFX, but mainly commercials and mocap cleanup. Do you feel like are you putting this pressure on yourself? Are you are you getting a vibe from people that people think you're slow and it's like a problem? Like, kind of, where is this mostly like you kind of feeling really worried about it being a problem, or are you kind of receiving feedback in some way that like you need to speed up or whatever? Like, where's the pressure coming from? Like, honestly. Also, this is not a weird question at all. It's a wonderful question. How to keep up the speed and work quality? I mean, for sure, I would just point out one thing is that everybody who gets in as a junior artist anywhere always is slower than the people who have been there working longer, like, period. There are some people who have really, really fast workflows and they kind of make exceptions to the rule, but in general, like, everybody starts off slow and like has to ramp up, and that's like a known thing. This definitely helps to move fast, but you can't start fast usually, right? Some keyframe animation here and there. I'm on a 1-year contract. I'm worried they might not renew me, but so far nobody's really said anything about my speed. And so you're a junior 3D animator there. There's not like a senior artist? Like how many other people work in like your department, like other animators? Like, are there more junior animators who work alongside you? Are there like mid-level people but not mentor figures? Like, do you have a supervisor? Do you have like animation support of any kind? Like, what's that look like around you? There are senior artists, but there's only 2 animators, me and another junior. Oh, there are senior artists, but only 2 animators, me and another junior. Interesting. Okay, interesting. But we do get some basic feedback here and there. Okay. I can see why that would be. I can see why that'd be hard. I know other animators who have worked at places where they've really wanted feedback and like good constructive like growth opportunities from animators who know more. But at the particular company that they're working at, they are somehow the most senior person there, or the most like advanced person, and like maybe they're supervising people beneath them, and they're like, I would like to grow too, and they don't have that. So I've seen that a lot. I mean, that's a tough one for sure. I'm trying to think of like good, helpful advice and things I can give that aren't just like lame. Because obviously, like, if you could show other animators and get feedback on that, but like if you're working on NDA projects, or I mean, also like if you're like actively working on stuff, to be able to like get the constant feedback outside of your kind of job scope. Like, doesn't really make a ton of sense. That's hard. I guess I have two questions. So if you're worried about like keeping up with the speed and work quality, I guess the first question is, do you feel like there's anything that you're like, anything in particular that you're struggling with that maybe like you could put like a question to it, like, oh, like I'm struggling with this, how do I this faster or better? Because maybe there's answers to that question that could help you do your job in a way that you feel a little bit more confident. The other direction is, like, sometimes things are just experience and it just, just kind of is what it is. The other version of the question is like, is there anybody, I guess if you're comfortable with it, like, is there anybody that you'd want to talk to sort of get that feedback, to find out if it's even something worth worrying about? Because maybe you're worried about it. I mean, because it's one thing, like, you might be struggling to keep up with it in general, and that's fair. But maybe no one else notices that you're struggling because they just think you're doing a good job. Like, the other artists who are there, like other people, like they might be like, oh, here, you're just doing great work. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. But like, you're killing it. And that could potentially be really good to learn, to find out. Because on one hand, you might find out that like, actually you're doing great. Everyone thinks you're doing a wonderful job, and like, it's stressful and it's hard, but like, you're doing it. And then it becomes like, okay, how can you either build the confidence or help fix some of the stuff that's like, how can you make it a little bit easier on yourself? Or maybe it's workflow, maybe it's tools, maybe it's just, I don't know. Or maybe it's none of those things. Or you find out like, oh yeah, like we've noticed that you're struggling a bit, and like, yeah, you're kind of just doing it. Like, maybe there is a bit of that. And like, if maybe there's, like, maybe this is where you'd be like, oh, this is where you'd ask your supervisor or lead or someone to like ask for feedback and talk to them and try to get like that conversation going. Because you being proactive about trying to solve that potential problem, maybe it's a problem, maybe it's not, but you being proactive and trying to solve it might be very beneficial in that just kind of communication, to be able to be like, oh, this person is struggling a bit, but they're really a team player. They want to have these conversations. They want to be helpful. And that might be very helpful for your renewal, potentially. I don't know, but of course I don't know. So like, that's awesome. That's another option. Let's see what else he said. I tend to struggle with planning shots, and I feel like they take way too long to get past the initial planning stage. The advice I've heard from most professional animators that I've talked to about this, everybody seems to agree that the planning for a shot should take about 10% of the total time. So if you are going to spend, a month on a shot, maybe you spend, the first half of a week potentially just on planning. Depending on the complexity of the shot, maybe even the first full week is just planning if it's a really complicated shot that requires that much sort of figuring out. If you're working for 2 weeks on something, maybe you spend the first 2 days for sure should probably be planning before you touch a computer. First day at least, second day maybe. And if you're spending a whole week on something, then it's like a good bit of your first day is gonna just be planning. If you can get into the computer by the end of the day, cool. But like, if it's only the second day that you jump in there, like, as long as you've got a good solid plan, like, that might not be the end of the world. It kind of just depends on the project and the shot. But that's the typical advice I've heard from every professional animator who discusses their workflow about this kind of thing, is that like, the planning is really, really important. And so I don't know what your ratio is of planning to working, but if your planning is effective and it's helping you work and you're around that schedule, then like, you shouldn't feel bad about that, I wouldn't think. If you're spending a whole lot more time planning than that, but you're very effective because of it, then it might just be an experience thing of just like, if there's anything you can do to get from A to B quicker, great. But if it's effective, it's effective. It's if you're spending a long time planning and like replanning and unplanning and replanning, and like it's like if it's not working and then it's burning a bunch of time, like then it's like, okay, maybe there's a workflow issue, right? Like then there's something else that like maybe you're approaching shots the wrong way, or the way you choose to animate is harder than maybe another method that you aren't exposed to yet or something. Or maybe there's tools that you could be using to help with some of the work that's keeping you from other parts that need your attention. I don't know. Obviously, it's hard for me to know because I don't know how you're working and stuff. But the fact that you are like thinking about it though and asking about it shows that like it seems like you're doing what you can to sort of figure it out. And I think communication is going to be your best bet to show that you're proactively taking steps to like do your best. I think that's the most important thing. Hopefully something in there was helpful for you, but I know the commercials and VFX are notoriously quick turnarounds as TV. So know that you're not the only one stressed about that. Especially if it's your first job and you're like halfway through, like I get it. I'd also leave you with this to say, worst possible case scenario, right? Like your worst case scenario is like, oh no, I'm not getting renewed or something. Take comfort in the fact that you got this job and you're getting additional experience. If you could get this job, you'll be able to get another job. Like, of course I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Because that's usually how it goes. If you can get one job, then you did the hardest part. If you got a job, you were good enough to get that job. And you're going to do other experience stuff at this job. Hopefully that'll help you get your next job. And if for some reason this experience doesn't help you land that next job, then making something what is on my microphone, making something else that's like a different skill set or something, but like you have the skills to get hired, period, and you've proven that. And if you have to, you'll prove it again, but hopefully you won't have to, because it sounds like you are taking the steps needed to do well in your role. Also, hi, I missed a couple of messages throughout all that. Professor Plays, hello. Good to see you again. The college I went to for game animation both broke the bank and shut down by going bankrupt. Oh, because they got what they deserved. You should get a refund. That's wild. I don't know if this is the right place to ask, but what are good college level internship programs for general 3D animation? College level internship programs. I mean, most internship programs are kind of designed with college level in mind, so anything. But for general 3D animation, I would just look up like 3D animation companies in your area, or if you're willing to travel, like in other places where the studios are, that kind of thing. Internship programs, like anything that does something that you're interested in. If you like 3D in general, then it's like you could look for animation studios, you could look for film studios, you could look for game studios, commercials, motion graphics, broadcast, news, sports media. Like you could look at virtual production. You could look at like marketing for like ice cream companies, you know, because like a lot of that stuff's virtual production and like kind of like commercial industry, that kind of thing. There's a lot of options. Just kind of explore the things that interest you and look for companies that make that stuff. And then check LinkedIn. Lots of LinkedIn. Will you make an original IP? I don't really have anything in mind right now. Like I've had ideas, but nothing, no good ideas. I doubt I'll make an original IP anytime soon. It's just, that's not really my thing. I'm not that kind of creative. I'd love to if I had ideas, but I don't really have ideas for that. So start trying to break into 3D motion design. I get second round interviews, but no offers. I've been networking, but it hasn't led to work. Any advice? Break into 3D motion design, get second round interviews, but no offers. If you're comfortable with it, I would reach out to the companies that you've done the interviews with and ask for feedback. Maybe it won't work out, or maybe they won't give it to you, but like, no harm in asking. Like, hey, like, you know, no hard feelings. Thanks so much for your time. I was curious if there's anything that, you know, precluded me from getting the role. If it was just someone that you found that had a better, you know, was a better fit for what you were looking for, or if there's any feedback you can provide or anything that you could recommend that, you know, would have made me a stronger candidate for this position. That's the kind of something I would send and to ask to see like, oh, like, why not an offer from that company? Maybe there was a reason that you can actually work on. Like, oh yeah, well, we wanted to see this kind of stuff in your demo reel and you didn't have any of that. Someone else did, so we went with them. Like, oh, I can do that. So then you know what to put in your demo reel. Or it could just be like, oh, this other person, we could get them for cheaper. Like, okay, well, is what that is then. So that'd be the first thing, is like, try to get some feedback if you can. If you can't, honestly, the best advice for like breaking into a field like that is just try to show that you can do the work that you want to be hired to do. So if you want to be doing 3D motion design, go find your favorite examples of 3D motion design, the stuff that you look up to, the stuff that you're like, man, I wish I could make this. Find some aspect of it and try to not like recreate it, like rip it off, but try to like make something to match the quality or get as close as you can to the quality of that particular thing. Like if you're like, wow, there's this whole commercial, I love the commercial. This whole commercial's got all this cool motion graphics. Take a single shot or two, right? And be like, I really like these aspects, analyze it, find out what makes it so good. Take those aspects and then go apply that to something new that you make. And like make something that has those same aspects that you're like, yeah, mine has that same magic about this, like whatever it is. Like, oh, I really like what they're doing with particles. I really like the way that this material looks as this object fractures and like comes apart, but then it comes back together and seamlessly turns back and flips around, whatever it is. Like, do that blueprint for yourself on something else and pretend like it's a real project. Create the stuff as if you're being hired to do it and put that down on your demo reel and then show that to companies and be like, this is the kind of stuff I like to do, that I want to do. Hire me and I'll make you things like this. And they'll be able to be like, wow, that's really good. Yeah, we want that. That's usually what's missing from demo reels, is like, you have on your demo reel probably a bunch of stuff that like that you have, stuff that you've made because you had to, you were asked to, whether it was a project or whether it was like a school thing. You have the assignment, but you need to give yourself like a creative brief. Give yourself like your own job offer and do that job as best as you can, and then put the results of that work on your demo reel. Not just the stuff that you're like, oh, I can do it, I'm good at it. Like, no, put the stuff that you like doing, that you want to do. Demonstrate your capabilities in the areas that you want to be hired in and manifest that. That's the best way to get the roles doing the things you like. But you have to think about it like you're doing a job for somebody else for yourself. I find it more helpful to think of you doing it for somebody else than doing it for yourself, because you'll like slack off for yourself, but you won't slack off for somebody else, you know? And for 3D motion design, you know, there's also like classes you can take and tutorials to follow and, you know, all kinds of like things like that, that if you're like lacking certain skills and you're like, I really like this, but I have no idea how to do it, there's probably resources for it. Probably free resources too. There's so many tutorials. But one other thing, actually, just one other practical thing is, if you're looking into 3D motion design, look at Unreal Engine's toolset. Unreal Engine has motion design tools. Most people don't know how to use them. They're so brand new. They can't do everything you want to do yet because they're so new, but they're in demand and people don't know how they work. Get good at it. Practice, play, explore, and like make some cool stuff. Make some little tutorials. Show off how you did it. Because if you can show the end result and you can show other people like, this is how I did it, this is my process, the people who need that kind of stuff, they're going to see your work, or they're going to see you being involved in that community because they're looking for like those kinds of projects, and they're going to find those tutorials and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this person really knows what they're talking about. I wonder if they'll work for us or do some projects for us. I see a lot of people get jobs because they're making tutorials, just as much as making demo reel stuff. But look at Unreal Engine because they've got some really cool tools. In fact, I have a video. I just made this video somewhat recently. This one. By the way, I posted a video today. If you guys haven't seen it, it's creating a realistic environment in Unreal Engine. It's a pretty short video. You should watch it. But this is the motion graphics video. We're going to say, which we're not gonna listen to it. But I go through just one feature in Unreal's 3D motion design tools. And it's really cool. Like there's so much other stuff you can do, but just like this one feature, I spent 20 minutes talking about it. And a lot of people don't even know this is in here, so you should explore it. I'm gonna mute this because I don't remember what music I used, and I don't remember if I have to worry about copyright for that song. Shouldn't have to, but I don't know if I need to put a sync ID thing. Anyway, this is like an audio-driven animation thing. That's what this video was. But anyway, yeah, you should look up Unreal Engine 3D motion design tools. Hopefully that was some good actionable advice. Hopefully you're still here to have heard that. What do you think of entry level? What do you think of entry level animation industry or game animator stuff? I watched your old videos about being hireable, but what is it in current situations? But hold on. What do you think of entry level animation industry or game industry animator stuff? I watched your old videos about being hireable. What is the current situation? I mean, it's kind of what I just said, right? If you can demonstrate a capability to do the work you want to do, then like that's half the battle. Then it's just a matter of finding a studio that has that need at the current moment that you're looking for a job. It's that combination of finding the opportunity that's right for you and being ready for that opportunity when it comes knocking. If you try to rush it by applying before you actually have the stuff to show, it makes you like, that's when you're like not hireable, is because you don't have your half of the equation. Someone says, we need someone, we gotta hire someone. You go, hire me, and they go, great. Can you do the job? Sure, I can do the job. Okay, show us what you've made that'll prove to us that you can do the job, so we can like pay you money to come work here. And you go, I don't really have anything to show you to prove that I could do the job, but like you should still hire me. Like, why would we do that? Like, we need to know that you can do the job before we put all the time and money into like bringing you on. Because what if you like straight up can't do it? Like, but I can. Just give me a chance. Like no, go make something so we can watch it and go, oh yeah, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. Like, get in here. Like, we want to hire you, but you've gotta show us that you can do it, right? That's what's happening. And so that's when someone's not hireable. It just means you haven't demonstrated that you're capable of the level of work that the studio needs to be able to be paying for. So that's how I look at it. Let's see. I looked into getting my loans waived. It was only for current seniors. Wait, I looked into getting my loans waived, but it was only for current seniors, or if you graduated like 2 years from when they were going bankrupt, and I was like 3 or 4 years out by then. Oh, I hope you applied anyway, just in case. That's wild. Oh yeah, 11-second clip does have a good contest every month. I have to do 10 different things every day. How do you align that thought? Wait. I have to do 10 different things every day. How do you align that thought? You mean in terms of my pointing out like doing the work that you want to be hired to do and like building up a portfolio? Like, is that what we're talking about? And like you're doing so many things, you're spread thin and you can't quite demonstrate that? Is that like, that's what I'm assuming your question is. Sometimes it's a matter of going home and making the stuff on your own time, because what you do in your day job doesn't give you the opportunity to make what you need to make for the next job leap, which is a bummer, but that does happen to people. Like if you work in kids content and you have really great kids animation, but you don't want to work in kids animation anymore, if you show off your demo reel of kids animation, you're going to get more kids animation jobs. So if you're like, I work on Strawberry Shortcake, but I want to work on like a Wolverine project where we're like slashing people's faces off, like you're probably not going to get that job from a Strawberry Shortcake demo reel. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but you've got to go home and make something a little bit more grisly and show that on your demo reel as well, you know? Like ideally the job that you're working aligns with the job that you want, because like each thing is, I mean, you're gaining skills one way or another, but if you're not getting the actual work on your portfolio from the current like role, then you have to create that experience elsewhere. Or yeah, 100%, you have Strawberry Shortcake rip people's faces off. That's the other clear answer. Honestly, if you were applying for like a Wolverine thing and you had one shot like that, probably would get a laugh. Probably should do that. And just not post it publicly, because the studio that you're currently working at would not like that. Put that behind a password protected link and just share it with the studio. Is the entry level for animator is mid right now, or at least for the rest of the world? Wait, what? Is the entry level for animator is mid right now, at least for the rest of the world? Are you it sounds like you're asking if, oh, hold on, you had another question too. I mean, most of the game companies I contacted or seen are looking for mid animation artists, none spaced for juniors. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. Basically that like the only jobs are for mid-level. There's not jobs for junior. There's gonna be jobs for junior, but maybe not at the studios you're looking at. You might have to broaden your search. You might have to look elsewhere. Because people are always hiring juniors. It just might not be like where you currently really want to work, but sometimes like getting that job experience. If you get a job as a junior animator doing something that you don't really want to do, you might get better faster doing that work than you would have on your own trying to just get to a mid-level, right? Like you might get there quicker because of your job experience, even if it's not the stuff you want to do. Like I said, the work you're doing might not go in your portfolio, but the skills you're gaining help you make other better stuff faster than if you had done it on your own. And then you can jump to a mid-level job from there. That's pretty common. I'm learning new skills in Unreal Engine to improve my skill set. When I ask for feedback, I usually just hear, your work is good, but it feels empty. Yeah, that's not very helpful. Work is good, it feels empty. That's a bummer. Yeah, well, hopefully you can... Easy. Ugh. I'm tired. I should probably go to sleep soon. It's almost 1 in the morning. Oh wow, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Hopefully you can find more people to review your work that are a little bit more helpful, maybe like a Discord server or a stream or something. Normally I'd recommend my mentorship, but I'm not currently running that. So I hope you are able to find someone who's doing some kind of a good review thing. Well, cool. Yeah, that feels like a good stopping point. I think I hit all the questions. I'm actually caught up for once. Please indulge me while I advertise my classes one more time. If you want to learn Unreal Engine from me, classes in June. The link is here in the description, and you can jump in on those and read up on this page if you're like curious to learn more. If you want animation classes specifically, hit the other link, and you can check out the pricing ideas, the class ideas, and you can basically just vote and say like, submit your interest so that I know whether enough people would actually be willing to take these classes that I should offer them. Because right now I'm only planning on doing the Unreal ones, but if there's enough interest, then I might do the other one. But it has to be worth the amount of time, because my gosh, I'm gonna have a really busy July. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody. This was fun. We'll do it again sometime. I'm gonna do the next live stream, I think, at a much earlier time, just so I can hit other time zones and more people can join us. So I don't know when the next stream will be. I'm at some point in the near future, I'd like to pick a time and a day to just routinely go live, but I'm not ready to make that commitment yet, as I said earlier. So thanks for being here. Thanks for the questions. It was fun to hang out. Good little summer catch up. And if you haven't for a while, go to my YouTube channel. Catch up on some recent videos that you missed. Maybe there's a couple you haven't seen yet. And keep an eye out for later this week and next. I'm going to be coming out with a couple new videos, which I actually am really excited about some of them. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy them as much as I've enjoyed making them. Sorry for chatting so late, but this has been a treat to listen to in the background. Hey, thank you. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things is when people just have me on like a second screen while they do work. I love that because I'm not doing a whole lot of visual stuff. It's just nice to be chatting with other artists. So this is a helpful thing to just keep you focused while you work. That is probably one of the better services that I can offer. But thanks everybody. Oh, you fletch? Oh, in RuneScape. In RuneScape. I was like, you're fletching in real life? Probably RuneScape. Love it. Excellent. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday, so enjoy your weekends. Hopefully everyone gets to do something fun or catch up on something or at least sleep or eat something good. Good luck. Oh, one last question here. Ever thought about doing an animation radio? Talk about the state of the industry, take live calls or something. I considered doing a podcast back in like 2020 before COVID hit, and then during COVID I was like, oh nope. But I don't know. I would love to do something more like, I'd love to do more of this. I think I'll just do live streams for now. I don't have any plans for anything bigger, but thanks for asking. Thanks everybody. Have a good night, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.